where you are tuning in from Texas yesterday. So, wherever you are tuning in from, let us know down in the comments. Again, even if you are watching the replay. So, I'm so happy it's Friday. Was a short week, but I'm glad it is Friday.
Right.
A lot of stuff going on this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna have to pull some of this stuff up on the screen here, but yeah, there's a lot going on in Buffalo, and then we got the event in Syracuse.
Yeah. So what is that? Like a gathering of a bunch of people? Is that what that is? A bunch
Yeah,
of artists and stuff?
from my knowledge, they wanted to grab all of the people that are doing things in the upstate area and bring them together for this cipher event. So I think that'll be pretty dope. I think it's gonna be nice.
That is gonna be nice. I'm excited about getting out of Buffalo and going some places. Definitely excited about that. Good morning, everybody. Let us know who's tuning in. Leave a comment. Say good morning. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I see people coming into the live. So, Grand Rising, are you happy that it's Friday? Anybody that is tuning in, I know I am. I'm so happy it's Friday. I may cook some fish tonight before I get to the studio, so I don't come up there smelling like haddock. Wait a minute, I gotta mute this. Oh God.
Yeah, I think every day is the same to me. Friday, Monday, I love every day. So
Yeah, I was going through some news stuff, um, just trying to see what's going on in Buffalo and sometimes I don't know. Do you watch the news, Jay? Does it bother you to watch the news?
um, I definitely don't watch the news. Sometimes I purposefully might check in on some type of topic that I might be interested in, but I definitely don't just turn on the news or like my phone. I turn off all the because Google's got this thing where they give you like Google like news of what's going on, like notifications and stuff like that. I did download an app once, like I forgot what it was called. It was like some kind of news app because I wanted to.
News break, probably.
Yeah, that's the one. And that one, the notifications on that was crazy. So I'm like, yeah, let me just go ahead and uninstall that.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
that,
no, I don't really be watching the news.
yeah, it's definitely a lot. It's definitely a lot. I had a lot of good conversations yesterday. A lot of people are interested in 716 Live. I'm happy about. If you are interested in having a podcast and you are watching this live right now, or even if you are watching the replay, go ahead and hit us up. You can send us an email at 716live@gmail.com. In the email, make sure you put in the subject line, please, because we get a lot of emails. In the subject line, just put podcast or radio podcast. That way we can grab those emails out right away. Or you can also email me at vetgreen76@gmail.com. Let me know that you are interested in coming over to 716 Live and having a podcast, or even coming up to see the studio. We're going to be having a networking event coming up very, very soon. More to come about that, but I'm very excited about it.
Right.
Very excited about it. A lot of things coming down the pipeline with 716 Live.
Facts.
Very excited about. So let's go into some news really quick. I'm always going to AP News. So, an ailing American explorer was trapped 3,000 feet deep in a Turkish cave, still awaiting rescue. I'm claustrophobic. Can you imagine?
No, no, I can't imagine that.
Jay, I freak out if the elevator take too long.
Right.
So 3,000 feet below the cave's entrance,
Mm,
and he's in after suffering a stomach bleed. This is being
mm,
reported by, again, the AP News. So the Turkish and international cave rescue experts are working to save an American speleologist. I gotta find out what that is. Trapped at the depth of more than 3,280 feet in a cave in southern Turkey after he became ill. The person's name is Mark Dickey, 40 years old. He fell ill during an international expedition in the Morka cave. Ooh-wee. Like, I'm having heart palpitations, y'all, just thinking about being trapped 3,000 feet underneath a cave. Like, that's what was that movie where they were hunting for gold? Remember, they were like in New York City going through, who was that? It was like, was it the Da Vinci Code?
you got
It
me.
it may have been the Da Vinci Code, but they were like all in caves and stuff. I just can't, y'all. I just can't. I am claustrophobic. I am one of those people who I learned to not be as afraid of elevators when I was working at HSBC and I was working on the 20th floor. Couldn't go up 20 flights of stairs. So I had to learn how to go up and down an elevator without being too intimidated. But it is not something that I enjoy. That's like flying. I have to talk myself into not being afraid of flying, because just being in that small space and up thousands of feet high is freaky in itself. It's
Yeah,
just freaky in itself.
I
So
don't do planes.
does it bother you to catch a plane?
Yeah, I don't do planes.
You don't do
Uh,
them at all?
nah.
Yeah,
I got on
Jay.
a plane once, like years ago when I was a kid. And that was, well, twice 'cause I had to come back. So, but that was it.
That was it. Yeah. I I can do without it. The longest I've flown was 4 hours, and I had to take a sleeping pill to get me through that, y'all. So I don't know. Like, my sister be talking about traveling overseas to like Africa, or even doing, like, for her birthday, she wants to do like this 2 week expedition. And I'm like, that is a lot of hours away. 12 hours on a plane somewhere. I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me. Good morning, New York Bronx. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tapping in. Let us know where you are tapping in from. I see we have a lot of people on the live. There must be some people in the YouTube as well. So Grand Rising, everybody, Grand Rising. Let me just make sure that I can that I shared this right, because I know a lot of times that it is not working right. So it shows, I can't even see. I hit the three dots. Yeah, it's not even
Oh, doesn't let you
showing.
click.
Yep. It
What
looks
do
like
you
it's
on an iPad or iPhone? What do you?
on my phone, but you know what? It shows that Franklin is live. So I wonder if it's
No, Frank.
Franklin's.
Okay, I see you got Letitia. He shared it. It's weird. Like you got two joints on your page. One is private and one's public.
Oh wow.
Interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what do we got going on for this show? Is we got our special guest coming on?
Yeah. So Lola is going to be joining us. Let me just message her to see what time she's going to join. So we're going to have the queen of the Boss Bunnies joining us this morning. I'm very excited about that because she is such a dope. So we're going to have the queen Lola Rue joining us this morning, y'all. So make sure y'all give her some love. Give her some love. We are live.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see him on your page. What's up, D'Amica, Mark Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. See, I don't even see any of that. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So I wanna talk about
No, it's
so
over. I'm
yesterday
good without hopping on a plane. No thanks.
you said
Mark Lee said you gotta live.
you gotta live. Oh yeah, Mark Lee, how long did it take you to get to the Philippines?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Man, ooh wee, ooh wee. I don't know about that. That's a. How long did it take you to get to the Philippines, Mark Lee? Put it in the chat if you can. That's and then he got his kids with him too. They aren't afraid of flying, and here we are talking
Right,
about.
right.
So I do want to go into some of the hot topics, everybody, and this is devastating news for me. This is why when my kids were younger, when me and their dad had broken up, I didn't date right away because I was very, very cautious about who I brought around my kids. Even now, like I'm not, and my kids are grown, but I still think about like my grandkids and all of that. So down in Memphis, and I got this on Newsbreak, and thank you everybody who continues to send me news that I can research. But a 22-year-old man in Tennessee was arrested this week for allegedly killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. He beat the child to death with a dog toy, a braided dog toy. Do you know how hard he must have been hitting this baby for this baby to die? Could you imagine that happened to your baby, Jay?
No, that's crazy, man.
2 years old. And like, where was the mom at? Where? So the guy's name is Anthony Andrews, and he was taken into custody early Monday morning and charged with one count of aggravated child abuse and one count of aggravated neglect of a child. Um,
You know what? Aggravated neglect.
that's what I said. Aggravated neglect of a child in the toddler's brutal death, the court records that were reviewed by the Law and Crime show. According to probable cause affidavit filed in Shelby County Criminal Court, officers with the Memphis Police Department and emergency medical personnel responded just before 6 a.m. on Monday to a 911 call about an unresponsive 2-year-old at a residence located in the 2600 block of Margot Street. Y'all, I don't know. Like, man, we have got to protect our babies. Ladies, be careful. I know we all want love. I know. I get it. I get it. We all want to be loved on. But we have got to be careful who we bring around our kids, especially when you have situations like this. This guy beat her child to death with a dog toy. Some of those dog toys, like the one I got for my big girl, for my granddog Patches, it's thick because she's a pit bull, so it's really thick and it's made with a really heavy nylon. If you hit me with it, I'll bruise up. So imagine the impact he must have been making on this child's body to kill this baby. 2 years old. EMTs on the scene performed CPR on the victim before rushing him to a local hospital where he succumbed to his wounds and was later pronounced dead. The police then identified the victim's mother and her boyfriend at the Margot Street. And lady, what were you doing while this man was beating your baby? Like, what was going on in your mind? And what sickness and healing do you need to do that you thought that it was okay for this man to do this to your child? The mom is saying that she was aware that Mr. Andrews, which is the boyfriend, disciplined her child and had seen him use a belt on the child, but she did not notice the excessive bruising. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you're the main caregiver in this child's life? Okay, lady. If that's what you're going with. Again, ladies, be careful who you allow around your children because you never know what impact they can make on your child's life. You never know. Moving on. So let me ask y'all this. Allegedly, a Maryland cop, well, it was caught on camera. A Maryland cop was caught allegedly kissing a young woman and goes into the back of the car with her. I don't know if any of you watching have seen the video, but allegedly this uniformed police officer in Maryland was seen making out with the young woman in broad daylight and apparently was on the job, only to put her in the back of his cruiser, and he got in there right with her, right behind. Listen, do you believe in doing the do on job? And especially, and this is not against the law in some states, and I believe Maryland is one of them. It is not against the law, but can you respect the police officer that does that? I mean, he's picking up women and taking them in the back of his car when he's supposed to be serving and protecting. Instead of serving and protecting, he's serving and hopefully protecting. Yeah. He's serving up something, but he's not doing the serving that he's supposed to be doing. He's serving up something, but not what he's supposed to be doing. So moving on, everybody. An angry Chipotle customer throws a burrito bowl at an employee in a heated video. This happened in Ohio, and this is being reported by TMZ. So a Chipotle worker in Ohio say she's got PTSD, and it can happen. I'm not laughing. It can happen. You never know what can trigger people, but she's saying that she got PTSD from a customer's ballistic burrito bowl assault. And the full spicy confrontation was caught on camera. Listen, some of these customers get very, very irate and want to take it out on the employees. Don't come at me at my place of work and you want to get angry and offensive to me and want to start throwing stuff at me. I might have to jump over that counter and fight you. I don't know if I can just take it. Especially for no minimum wage. You guys to be paying me some really top dollars to take a burrito bowl being thrown at me. I remember I was working at a local alternative school. And in the school, they teach you how to deal with the kids. You have to read their file before you deal with them. And a lot of these kids are not only learning disabled, but they have dealt with a lot of trauma in the household. A lot of them may be outside of the household, meaning that they're in the foster care system or some sort of system like that. So, again, they may have a lot of trauma. And I remember there was this 12-year-old boy that was in my classroom. I was a teacher's aide. And at the time, my kids were around the same age. And this boy got so angry that he mushed me up against the door. I had to chase him up and down the stairs, 3 flights, up and down into the basement, up to the top floor. Needless to say, that was the end of that job. I refused to be beat by some kids that's the same age as my kids. I refuse to be beat by some kids. Okay, I'm not doing that. Control your kids. When that little boy pushed me, it took everything in me not to take my belt off and whoop his butt. It took everything in me. All I kept thinking is, girl, you will go to jail. You can't touch this baby. You will go to jail. Parents, control your children. Control your children in these schools, because I hear a lot. I got a sister-in-law that works in the school system, and some of y'all kids be out there acting up. And listen, I had 6 of them, and I told them, don't y'all go to school cutting no fool. Don't y'all go to school cutting no fool, because I'm going to come to school cutting a fool. I'm not going to school because you deciding to act up. I'm not going through all of that. And needless to say, I did not have to go through any of that. 6 kids. I didn't have to go through that. It shocks me the amount of disrespect that these kids are growing up having. Like, where is the respect these days? Nobody is teaching these kids home training anymore. It's like it's just out the door. I don't get it. It is just like out the door. And why, y'all? Like, why is there no home training these days? Why is it so hard for adults to teach their kids like basic respect? Respect your elders. My daughter is 30 years old and she still says Mr. and Mrs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a basic respect that you have to have. Yeah, so I don't know. I want to go into a Naquasia song real quick. Rewind. So we're going to go to a quick break while we rock out to Naquasia, y'all, and I wipe my face down. So Rewind, rewind. Mm-mm.
Rewind, 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 rewind. Got to move slow, move slow, move slow, move slow. Rewind, rewind, rewind.
I don't know about y'all, but I love me some LaQuasia.
And go, and go, and go. One, baby, put your hands on me. Hey, I wanna feel you touch my body. I'ma rewind, move it in time. Got to rewind, reverse it this time. Move slow, take control. That's how you controller, 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 controller. Rewind, rewind, rewind. Got to move slow, move slow, move slow, move slow. Rewind, 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 and go, and go, and go, and go. In the midst of the night, let's rewind. I wanna move my body, baby, with you all night. Move my body, come see. Ha. Rock my body, low key. I work the middle, babe, you work me. Move slow, yeah, you feel me? No cookie, but I like the way you turn me on. I may have to change my mind, baby, take you home. Twist it back, pop, pop, get a taste. Hot and bothered all kinds of ways. Hot and bothered, your hands feeling all over me. Rewind, move slow, move slow, move slow. Rewind, 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 and go, and go, and go, and go.
Like what I see, I like what you do. Baby, rewind, all eyes on you.
I like what I see. I like what you do. Baby, rewind, all eyes on you. Rewind, rewind. Move slow, move slow, move slow, slow. Rewind, rewind, rewind. And go, and go, and go, and go.
Let's listen to some Sadasia too, y'all. We gonna rock with some of the ladies this morning. It is TGIF. Rewind. Let's go into Sadasia. Bottom on that beat. Rewind. Rewind. Got to move slow. I just feel like listening to some music and talking, y'all, this morning.
DJ, switch up the program. I don't wanna hear another slow jam. Put your back into it, do your dance. Get this party started. Shots on shots, now we vibing. Hands in the air like we don't care. Turn around and let me see you throw that there. Get this party started. It don't matter where you are, what you going through. Let this beat clear your mind, make you groove. You can be anywhere, just remember when you bust your favorite move. Was it electric? Or the cha-cha? Real smooth now. Hit the nay-nay? Or the beatbox? Get it started. Let me see you do the shuffle.
Make sure you let us know where you are tuning in from this morning. And make sure you go to 716live.com Pick that option for the radio.
No, we don't. We party like a vacation. Yeah, we do. Anyone from any nation, no matter where you from. Just come on out and do your favorite dance. 'Cause we got the vibes. We got the vibes. And we here all night. Yeah, all night. You know what we're here for. So let's switch up the tempo. You can salsa, do the salsa.
You ever just feel like dancing and singing and just enjoying that it's Friday? That's the type of mood I'm in today, y'all. Just happy that I'm blessed to be alive. Glad that it's Friday. Glad that I can finally just have some me time this weekend and enjoy doing what it is that I like to do this weekend. I'll be in Syracuse. I'm so happy. I got some more news to talk about, y'all. I just want to listen to some music this morning. You know, music is like the speak to my soul. It helps ease the mind sometimes.
Leave it all on the floor. You can do your dance. It'll be alright. What a time to be alive. No need to hold it all inside. Leave it all on the floor. You can do your dance.
I'm going to get into the opening to my song, Faded. This is actually not a release song that the Queen Rachel J allowed me to use for the opening of my show, Vet Green. So I'm going to get into that next, y'all. And let me know what y'all want to listen to this morning. Maybe we can get it on for you.
I don't wanna hear another slow jam. Put you back into it to your lips. Get this party started. That's now we vibe. Hands in the air like we don't care. Turn around and let me see you throw it. Get this party started.
Hey. Let me know what y'all think about this song. It's called Faded.
Okay, calm down, it's only up from here. I can shake this hair off, yeah, I know it's real. Wanna feel
I'm gonna let the entire song play.
man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. Fade like spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy. I'm fading in the spirit. My vision kinda blurry. I'm feeling
The vision kind of blurry.
Come on, Jesus Christ, tell me what's the deal. Feeling kinda dizzy, ain't
That's how it be sometimes. Come on, Jesus Christ, tell me what's the deal.
the only one who want it, no cocker down. I'm feeling faded and it feel real good to me. What's the secret? Tell me what you do to me. I'm high in the spirit, feeling real.
Rachel J got a new song out.
David, tell him get. I'm high though, off the Christ though, going psycho. I run around doing cartwheels like a hypo. You feeling me? Don't be killing me. You illing me. Demons on my back, yeah, they be drilling me. I tell you 3 times like a trilogy. Eating up his word and give me energy. Tell the filthy devil, get up off of me. Say you got it.
That part.
Ain't nothing free. Okay, come down, it's only up from here. I can shake this hair off, yeah, I know it's real. Wanna see you too, baby, tell me what's the deal. Man, I'm feeling like David when I do my dance. Fade like spirit.
Yeah,
My
this
vision
is kinda blurry. I'm feeling kinda woozy.
fading in the spirit.
Yeah,
My
this
vision
is kinda blurry.
I'm
Feeling kinda woozy.
yeah.
Even to another top spot is up for grabs, bro. Midwest native, so I never lack. Got my numbers up like Chicago be doing with the tax, though. Hype it, I ain't smoking on the wax, yeah. Man, I can't deny it, got a sober mind, yeah. Fire in my eyes, different kind of high. Mask off, Mick Foley, I'm a Russell with the trophies. Low-key Kobe, wave emoji till I get a flood of rolling, yeah. All of my homies, they flex, yeah. I'm still when I throw up the set. And then they invested a check and I came out of prayer, you see the effects. Educated and intelligent, baby, I'm solid, but can't get ahead of it. Homie, it's evident, I got the evidence, no different
So
purpose, yeah.
fire.
You see all the demons had him up against. Jesus came to my defense. Highly favored, they don't need to choose me. Nah, make a sway with the vibes. That's a
Listen, y'all, I'm gonna play another Rachel J song. This is one of her newest ones. It's called Out Bad. I hope y'all can hear it.
I just like the sound of it. I just like the sound of it.
So fire. Hey, hey, hey. She is hands down one of my favorite R&B, hip hop, Christian rap, Christian gospel. Like sis got it going on. If y'all have not checked in with Rachel J, man, she can do the Nicki Minaj thing. She can do the man. She just that talented. That talented. Beautiful, beautiful young lady. Beautiful, beautiful heart. Hey, I like what you need to sing what you want. You better get it, sis. I love music, y'all. It doesn't even matter what kind. I just love music. And when you have good music like this, it just makes it all the much even better. Better. Yeah, 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 yeah. Make sure y'all go check out her latest video on YouTube. The name of this song is called Out Bad. I was waiting forever for her to release this, y'all. Like I think she played me this song last year sometime. Like that's how long I have been waiting. Sis got a vault. And a lot of y'all artists are probably the same way. You have a vault of music that you have not released yet. Share it with your fans, y'all. Like share it with your fans. Share it with me. I love to listen to unreleased music. I love when artists trust me enough to send me music and ask me for my opinion. I feel like I have a good ear. I feel like I got a good ear. So if you are an artist and you would like me to listen to some of your music, or like anyone on the 716 Live platform to listen to some of your music, send us the MP3 player. If you want it on the radio, we would rather it be clean, but if not, we will still take it. It just won't be played at certain times, but we welcome any music. I'm especially looking for some R&B music. Good morning, everybody out there. Good morning. It just says Facebook user, but good morning. I'm definitely looking for some R&B music. That's what I get for trying to that's what I get for trying to figure out what's going on this live, y'all. Good morning, Marquetta. I feel like I'm saying your name wrong. Good morning, Mighty Nicks. Good morning. Thank you both for joining us again. I love seeing the same names every morning. I love seeing new ones as well. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that you are continuing to come back to the 716 Live morning show. We are doing what it does. Let me know what y'all want to listen to. Maybe we can get it up for you. I think today I'm just going to conversate a little bit, play a little music, conversate a little bit, play a little bit of music, because it's Friday and I just want to do whatever. Like it's just like one of them free for all days. Nothing too serious, nothing like that. It's just one of those days where we are just enjoying that it is the weekend, baby, coming off of a long weekend. I was sitting in the studio the other day, y'all, and I didn't even realize it was already Wednesday. Like, you ever have one of them long weekends, or maybe you experienced this also this weekend? I literally lost track of what day it was. I'm like, it's about to be Thursday. Like, it's about to be Friday. I am so excited. I am so excited. What's up, Jake? You hear me in here being a DJ? I'm just playing some music. I'm just like, it could be just one of them free days. Just rock out to some good music and just have dope conversations. So
right. That's what
Say that again.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. What good music you got on your end, since you're in the studio with the plethora of music?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, nowadays I really listen to instrumentals and beats. I don't listen to too much like artists or anything like that, to be honest with you.
I noticed that when I was up at the studio the other day that you were listening to the instrumentals, which is adulting on a whole nother level. You know what? You had said something that I never even realized happened when we went to the event that Martez, the Lockport versus Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And you had said that you were talking about how music can have people in a trance. And until you said that, it never dawned on me that that's exactly what music can do. And depending on the mood that you're in, that can be a good or a bad thing.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I never even thought about it like that. And some of you that's on the live right now, have you ever thought about like being conscious of the type of music that you listen to and the mood that it can put you into, or if you're suffering with depression or something like that, it can put you in a downward spiral.
Yeah, man. Like music for me, like when I get up in the morning, I like to listen to a lot of really like heavy, hard, like fast paced music that really gets me like like I feel like I gotta get moving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So same thing. Like if you're in a bad mood or you feel like down or sad or something like that, man, just throw some good music on it. You'd be surprised what it could do for you.
Yeah. I sometimes, depending on my mood, if I'm really, really going through some things, I'll put on like some gospel music, or I'll revert back to listening to Dialogue by Molotov and Duca De Niro, because that uplifts my spirit. Grand Rising, Jason Caminero, I cannot wait to meet you. Grand Rising. And if anybody's on the live, want to come in and have a conversation, join the conversation with us, just send us a message and we'll send you the link. You don't have to come on camera. You can just come on and just say good morning.
Right.
Just say good morning. So if you are watching right now and would like to come on and say good morning, just hop in one of our DMs and we'll be happy to send you a link. We want y'all to know that this is the Real People Station and provide y'all with an outlet to have a voice. We just got that recognition in Lackawanna, which was so phenomenal. How does that feel, getting all of this recognition, Jay Heat?
It feels good. It feels due, but it feels good.
Long time coming.
Yeah, more coming too. So
more to come. You know what? Let's let our listeners get to know who the man is behind the camera and behind 716 Live, Jay Heat. So how did made you even want to come up with 716 Live? Like, where was that birthed from?
It was birthed from a few things, mostly the lack of support in the city for a local artist. I was just having this conversation the other night about, like when you, well, back when I first started 716 Live, like when you go out of town, you go to New York or Jersey or, wherever, Carolina, anywhere really, and you turn on the radio, you know what I'm saying? Like they are playing their local artists, you know what I'm saying? Or Cleveland or whatever, you go to their main stations like,
Chicago.
Hot 97, you know what I'm saying? They playing they artists from their city, and that was something I never heard of in Buffalo. I'm like, I ain't never hear no local artist, playing on BLK or any of the radio stations, unless it was I can't think of the name of the Buff State's radio station. They used to have like a show at night. I think it was like Friday nights, but
Mm.
that other than that, like and even then, that was kind of they had like a specific type of music they would play. Buff State joint. But yeah, so I never heard of that. I never, and then going out and being an artist myself and meeting different artists and seeing the landscape of Buffalo, I'm like, how come we don't never hear none of these artists? Like they all this good music, I don't hear none of this on the radio or nothing. So that's one of the main things that birthed 716 Live. I'm like, damn, we need a platform.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
for
right, BNY College Station. Who said that?
oh, okay. Jason Caminero.
Okay,
Jason.
shout out to Jay.
Okay. All right. So how did it evolve? Because it wasn't just like 716 Live has different evolutions of
Oh yeah,
itself,
yeah,
like the
definitely.
magazine. How did
Right.
that come about?
Same thing, just evolution. That's one of the reasons why I do believe in evolution to a certain extent, because I mean that's how life works is evolution.
Yeah.
Once 716 Live was birthed, it was birthed from the idea of having a show similar to 716. I mean 716, 106 in Park. Um,
Mm.
with the whole format as far as like showing music videos and having a host or hosts and then having guests and
Mhm.
but the thing with 716 Live was when I created it was the idea was to have some kind of live visual situation where we can be live and interact with the audience. So in doing that, that's what happened. We created 716 Live, the show, and in doing that, the magazine just, it was just the next step. The digital magazine was just the next step. I was, I wanted like something that you could put everything together at once and put it out, and then I thought like a magazine would be cool for that, specifically a digital magazine.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
how often did 716 Live Mag come out? Because I see the different the magazines up there in the studio. So was it like a monthly publication?
I started I started monthly, and then I realized that was like a bit much to be doing a show, to produce a show and produce a magazine every 30 days, because
Mm.
a magazine, you got different aspects. Like it's not like I went to school for none of that, so I was kind of trial and error. So realizing that a magazine is like, you're supposed to have writers, you're supposed to have the graphic designers, publication, all types of distribution, all types of crazy stuff. So I'm like, I can't really do that and produce the show. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say can't. I was doing it, but I felt like it was a
It
bit
was a
much.
task.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was a bit much because the more you do, when you do a lot of different things, certain things are gonna fall, slip through the cracks, or you're gonna, things quality may suffer or whatever. Um, so I was like, man, let me break it down to I think I started doing like every other month, and then I like the idea of doing a quarterly release, because the quarterly release, my idea with that was putting out a physical magazine as well as the digital. And we didn't get to that point with 716 Live. I was putting out a digital hip hop not digital, physical. It was digital too, but I also put out a physical hip hop magazine, um, Underground Yeah, Underground Rappers. That was the name of that joint.
Mm,
So
that
yeah,
would be dope to bring back, Jay.
oh yeah, it's in the plans, vet. No, it's in the plans. Nothing dies out. It's just laying dormant right now, getting its rest.
Yeah,
But it'll come back.
yeah. What would you like some of the, because we are always looking for talent that's willing to come in and either invest in yourself.
All right.
He said we could do a Buffalo version. Yeah, Jason, I cannot wait to Jay Heat. He said, Jay Heat, you thank you for setting the tone.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. I do it for Buffalo. Like the thing is, what's funny about a lot of situations in Buffalo is, everybody says they do it for the city, but it's not really that. You know what I'm saying? Like people want to be they want attention, they want to be the man, all this other these things. This, I guess it's cool. I don't know. But I literally do it for the city. Like I said, I grew up in Buffalo. I lived in Buffalo my whole life. I never left Buffalo. I've traveled, and for me personally, like I could never see myself leaving Buffalo. People, it's a lot of different outlooks on that. Everyone. I ain't gonna say everyone. Most people like, man, we got to get out of Buffalo. You got to do this. You got like First of all, I wouldn't even be able to survive anywhere else because the food is horrible compared to
Oh,
like
you ain't lying, Jay.
man,
You
I
ain't
remember the first time I went to Atlanta and everybody was talking about the food down there was so good. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I don't know where we went. Like I think it was like the Waffle House. We went all the staples and then like the local joints too. And I'm like, yeah, like this is what is this? This is man, I'm what do you call that?
foodie.
Spoiled. I'm spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Buffalo, the food in Buffalo is phenomenal. Like it's so many people that, they got their own recipes and their own twist on things and then we got our our wings and it's crazy. You go to other places. I remember going somewhere and they called them buffalo wings. Like I never even
mhm.
heard of that. You know what I'm saying? Like and so
What is this?
yeah, I'm thinking, okay, well, that must mean they emulating Buffalo's wings. So you go eat it, and it's like, yeah, nah, man, y'all got it wrong. Whatever it
Right.
is, ain't it? And then same thing with New York. Like when I was in New York for the first time, I'm like, oh man, I was a big Ninja Turtles fan, so I'm like, man, all they did was eat pizza. I'm like, man, I can't, and it was New York, so I'm like, I can't wait to taste some New York pizza. I go there get some pizza, and it's like, man, this ain't. I'd
Paper.
rather have buffalo pizza, man. Like this is crazy.
Man.
The buffalo food is just so that's the main thing. Like I wouldn't be able to survive in anywhere
Yeah.
else with the
Yeah.
food. But Buffalo, I think that being in Buffalo, growing up in Buffalo, and seeing the different opportunities that are actually in Buffalo, but it's hard to see them because of the way our city is set up. It's so many pockets of poverty and just different situations. It makes it hard to see the opportunities here. But me as a person and my just my character, when I see negative things that people may look at as negative or not beneficial situations, like me personally, I look at it as opportunity. Opportunity for growth. The more eh, like I'm always rooting for the underdog, and that's what Buffalo feels like to me. It feels like the underdog is
Yes.
always losing. I mean, back when I was a kid and we kept going to the Super Bowl and losing and just all of that stuff, like it makes me want it more. I'd rather be here and I'd rather make it here than go to New York City or LA or Atlanta and make it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't seem right to me. That's
Yeah.
just me personally,
That's why when I came back from Chicago and I saw the 716 Live, the you were talking about podcasting and stuff, and that you had a studio, I was super excited because I was like, oh my God, like this is something that's in Buffalo.
Right,
Like,
right.
because before I would have had to be in New York City to have a podcast studio when I was over at the Evening Rush, but this was something that was here in Buffalo, and I was so excited because in my mind, I'm like, okay, now this is going to help me realize my dreams, help me bring my dreams come true, because now I have a whole set that I can come into the studio, sit on the pink couch, and do what it is that I do. And it makes, I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm one step closer to my dreams, thanks
Right,
to
right.
716 Live and UJ, because it does, I don't know, it's a different feeling. I guess when you can actually get in there and you can feel it and you can see it and you can touch it, it's a totally different feeling than being, virtual.
Right, right. Yeah, and not only that, but just to touch on the simple fact that, once you if you don't if you're used to experiencing things a certain way, it's what like you don't realize that there's other things out there, like in Buffalo. It's a little different now, there's a few different things popping up that, like for instance, I always say I took a step back from doing music videos. Like I did a lot of music videos in the city, and I took a step back from that. I took a step back from that because the reason I even started doing videos in Buffalo is because music videos in Buffalo is because everybody's music videos is whack. And I'm like,
Mm,
oh, this is crazy, man. I live in Buffalo. You live in Buffalo. So when you put out something whack, it's a representation of me. So we can't have that. So I'm like, man, let's figure this out. So I started doing a lot of music videos for everybody. And nowadays people have definitely stepped their game up. Like there's a few videographers out there that do good work. So therefore I don't need to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why so I took a step back from that. And it's the same thing sort of with 716 Live. Like 716 Live set the standard, and that's not me just
a
saying
lot of
that.
stuff.
Yeah, that's not me
It's
just saying
true.
that. We really did. Like no one's supporting nobody was supporting Buffalo music until 716 Live, other than, and I'm gonna say this, we live on this platform. I'm gonna say it like this: the other platforms that were supportive, like back in the day, like Late Night Noise, and I think it was like Official Heat, and there was one more I can't remember. Like some of them joints, they definitely played local music, but
Hmm.
it wasn't they weren't going in about it. Like it was more so like whatever's there is there, and that's it. Whereas 716 Live, like we look purposefully for local artists, and we not biased as well. So like it ain't about what
Facts.
circle you in, it ain't about if you know me. Matter of fact, I was just talking about this the other night with someone. When I first created Before I created 716 Live, I had another platform called Buffalo Rappers. So
Mm.
when
I didn't know that came first.
Yeah, Buffalo Rappers was my first digital platform I created. It was kind of like the World Star of Buffalo. Sort of. World Star was kind of like, like what do you call that? Like gossip, clickbait type of stuff. But
Gossip and ghetto.
yeah, yeah. I only put like maybe a couple videos up that weren't music related, and then I didn't really like it, so I just stopped doing that. I just kept it all music, and when I put the platform out, the whole thing was again to support local artists. And regardless of what I think about your music, even if I personally don't like you, if you rap and you in Buffalo, there's no bias. I throw it up there, and that was the start of something that was completely different than what was going on in the city, which is if you got to be in somebody's circle, you got to know somebody, you got to be somebody's friend, you got to do something for somebody to get somewhere, just like how any industry is. So
Yeah.
that I wanted to create that so that people that such as myself, because that was my problem as a rapper. My problem was, listen, I'm better than everybody. Why am I not on? Like I didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people, after going through things and realizing that people want you to do things for them, or they want you to be in this clique, or they want you to be, I'm like, yo, that's crazy, because then I know I ain't the only one that's skilled like this, that feels like, I ain't really trying to do all that. I ain't trying to, I'm trying to keep it PG here, but I'm not about to just be buddy buddy with people to get somewhere. That's weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Either you gonna respect what I'm doing, my skill set, or we just gonna keep it moving. And so that was one of the things in my head. I'm like, man, and like I said, when I would go out perform and I would meet other artists that I thought was, I'm like, man, dude is nice or whatever. I ain't never hear of him. He ain't, and there's, all of that going on. I'm like, man, we need a platform. So when I did the Buffalo Rappers joint, it was so unbiased that I never put my music on there. None of my music was ever on any of my platforms really until recently. Like there was one or two times where and it's the same situation where a host might be like, yeah, we found one of your videos, we found one of your songs, we gonna play it or whatever. But I never was like, yo, play my music, we gonna play it, it's gonna be J Heat Day. You know what I'm saying? I used to get into it when I first started 716 Live, and people would be like, man, y'all, y'all biased or whatever. I'm like, dude, if it was biased, I'd just be playing I got enough videos to last all day. I could be all week, I could play a joint every week. You know what I'm saying? But I never played my music or music videos or anything because it was completely unbiased. What I was gonna say was even my friends, they'd be like, "Yo, why we not on there?" Like, man, because I'm not. It's not biased. It's not about that. Because
Mhm.
you know me, you ain't. That's not how it works, man. Put some music out, and then you'll be on there. You know.
What's been one of the greatest challenges with 716 Live and the because it's constantly evolving, and I feel like each time that you bring it back, you does it feel like it gets better, or you can figure out like what you like the strengths and opportunities for improvement?
Yeah, yeah. I have this conversation with myself every time. I'm like, yo, how how do I keep doing this? Like, because it's weird to me because every time like these levels, I guess you could call them, like I'd be like, even just recently when we moved here, I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, how are we gonna top what we're already doing? Like how do you do that? Realistically speaking. And not only that, but there's a lot that goes into 716 Live. So it's like, I don't want to ever take like a step back, step backwards, I should say. So when I sit there and I think about it, I'm like, man, what could we do next? Like, what's the next move? How is it going to be better? And then, you know, after thinking about it for whatever amount of time, after you're done thinking, you got to take that step. And every time I take this step, and I'm like, man, like I surprise myself, like did it again and better. It keeps getting better and better every time. It gets better. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
I'm
probably what
grateful
sets you
for it.
apart. That you're not afraid to take those steps, and it's not about the money for you, which I
Right.
love, and that's probably why it works also so well because you're not chasing the dollar.
Right, right. And people feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like when I sit down and talk to people about whatever it is, it could be anything really. It could be even advertising. Advertising is sales. And when I'm talking to people about advertising, they don't feel like it's sales because the word the word advertising, that's just the word so that people understand what we're talking about when we talking. But really what it is I'm trying to push your business. You know what I'm saying? That's why even with the advertising, I don't know what the laws are or anything. I don't really care either, but my thing is like if I don't rock with what you're doing, I don't care if you got the bag or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going on
Mhm.
716 Live. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Yeah.
care what type of money you talking about. I've been in plenty of situations where people were like, "Man, I got this money, I got this, and let's make this happen." And it sounds good to somebody who is chasing the money. Like if it was about money, yeah, you want to say yeah to those so-called opportunities. But that like you
Mhm.
just said, it's not about the money for me. Like I want to push certain. I have an agenda. It's not a secret agenda. It's not a hidden agenda, but I do have an agenda, and that's to push positivity in the 716, push what's going on. We got a lot. Buffalo has a lot going on that people do not know about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good things, it's positive things, and we need to keep pushing that.
So if there's someone out listening now, what kind of shows would you like to, additional shows would you like to see on the platform
Well,
of 716 Live?
I like everything, as long as it's informational and it's obviously want to find a balance between informational and entertaining. Somebody that has, a good presentation with whatever it is they're talking about. Because sometimes, I mean, delivery matters. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be talking about two people could be talking about the same thing, but someone's delivery might be so off that it's hard for people to listen or watch. Someone
Hmm.
else has a lot of charisma or whatever, that's gonna make people listen and tune in. So, but overall, as far as like different types of shows or podcasts or broadcasts, yeah, anything as long as it's informational. I personally would love to have like a hip hop show. We did have the one podcast, well, platform. This is Hip Hop Life. I would like to bring that back on the actual 716 Live platform.
Mm.
But me personally, that's because I'm a hip hop head. I would love to have a hip hop show, but like a sports show. I want to have some kind of show with mechanics, like showing mechanics, digging into cars and stuff like that,
Mm.
and like mechanic talk.
Yeah, so tag some mechanics. Even if y'all are watching the replay of this, you have the man himself talking about the type of shows that he would like to see on the platform. So if you are interested in having a podcast, come talk with us. Mechanic show,
Yeah.
informational shows. I like that hip hop life. That sounds dope. Now, what was the format of that? Was it like videos
Yeah,
or?
yeah. So this is it. That was actually my first, shows. Me and my partner, my man Shade at the time. We we hmm. There was a lot of reviews. That was one of the main parts of it. Was reviewing music, hip hop music across the world.
Mm.
And talking about hip hop news. And again, same thing, like real hip hop news, not clickbait. Cardi B changed her hair color type of news, not like that. And what else? Well, we also had the This Is Hip Hop Life radio station. Same thing, nonstop, just hip hop music 24/7. It was its own platform, really, but I want the actual podcast show to be on 716 Live. And it was a very successful it actually was a pretty successful platform. It's just, again, like I talked about earlier, I love Buffalo. I love my city. So, even though, and again, if it was about the money, I would have stuck with This Is Hip Hop Life, because I could do literally 100th of the amount of work and get a lot more money than what comes off 716 Live. But I love 716 so much, I'm like, I gotta focus on 716 Live. So here we are.
Yeah, yeah, and we're going to be having auditions because you are looking for hosts for the 716 live show.
Yeah, yeah, we did put out the auditions for, I think it was last month at this point.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but we did put out the audition call for that, and we did get a good response. But logistically, we just had to put it on hold for a second. But 716, the 716 Live Show will be coming back, and we will do auditions. You know what I'm saying? So I started a podcast on Spotify, USG Radio, but it needs to be more professional.
Yeah,
Well, hey, we here,
talk
Facebook.
to us.
You know what I'm saying? Come on over to 716 Live. We'll get it going. Speaking of which, we working on a deal with the 716 Men's Podcast. Shout out to Cap.
Mhm.
They'll have their first what do you call that, pilot
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah,
And after they fall in love with that show, you're gonna see them more often on 716 Live.
that's right. That's right. Big shout out to the 716 Men's Podcast. That's what happens. People love what we are doing at 716 Live and they trust us, which I think is even more dope. So Dutch, what type of podcast do you have? Like what, put it in the chat, what type of format you have. There's a lot of pointers that we can give, especially if you wanted to do it in studio. I don't know if you are in the Buffalo area or the 716 area, but if you are interested in doing something in studio, you most definitely want to come and talk to us. The one thing I will say that I learned from doing my own podcast, I started on Spotify and using Anchor. A lot of times the listeners want to see the video.
Right.
They want to hear you, but they also want to see the video. That actually gets a lot more traction than just the audio, unfortunately. So that's one thing I would suggest, that if you are not using a video format, to use a video format. And we have so many packages available right now
Right.
at
Right.
7.6.
Yeah, and just to compound on that, it's really up to your imagination. Like the my one of my favorite things with when it comes to working with people to bring their shows over is creating the actual aesthetics of the show. Um, you know, like your show, when we get this new logo going, you know what I'm saying? Like
Can't wait.
that was one of my things when we first I think we started talking about it at the old studio, but
Hmm.
I remember like visualizing it, like, and we got pretty much there. We still just need that logo up there. We got the
Yeah.
cameras all set up. We got it looks nice, and it's pretty much almost exactly how I envisioned it. It's just we need to get that logo up there. But that's one of my favorite parts of doing this, is building out sets like that. And then when D'Amica gets back from out of town, hopefully we could get to work on her set as well. We talked about because she one of the conversations we had is I forgot where we were. She was probably like, I don't know. We were somewhere and she was watching one of our shows and she was like, how come my show doesn't look like that?
How many times do you get that
Right,
from
right. I'm,
people?
I'm like, listen, we got to sit down and talk it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we can definitely. I forgot what show it was. I feel like it might have been your show. I'm not sure. A few people came into the studio and saw, those
Pink.
pink couches and was like, yo, oh, this is my
It's so unsuspecting. Oh, he said, Jay Heat, I'm the Caminero effect. I'm expecting more viewers. 4716 is coming. He's claiming it. I know that's right, Jason. He's claiming it. See, Jason is a potential 716 live person. He is coming down to see the studio and see what we can do with each other, what we can offer. So that is a perfect example of someone who's interested in what 716 Live has to offer.
I want to bring this comment up. I can't see who this person is, but
That's the Dutch.
okay,
He's Dutch. Yeah.
so definitely needed, but I'm at a loss because I do it all myself. But the podcast is more controversial topics, of artist interviews. So yeah, like, and that's something we talk about. Well, I definitely use the word preach, but definitely preach over at 716 Live. Like, it's all about teamwork. Like, I always say this, like, you're probably never gonna meet someone that's as do it yourself as me. And even with that being said, I had to understand that you can only get so far with anything in life doing it yourself. Um, I always said, I'm trying to get this off the screen because it's so big. Let's get this pause. Let's get this off the screen here. Okay, boom. So, um, yeah, like I was just saying this the other day, like, like somebody like Kobe Bryant, one of the best if not the best basketball player of all time, right? Man, you throw him on the floor on the court against the worst NBA team, who gonna win that battle? You know what I'm saying? The reality is that horrible team that sucks, that can't put up no shots, no nothing, shot percentage is dead, can't steal the ball, can't do nothing, fatigued after 2 steps, they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win against Kobe Bryant. So, and that's because you can't do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? He might even get off to a good start. He might get a few buckets or something like that. But after that, the fact that the other team is a team is going to wear and tear on him. So you can only get so far with your own two hands. You need extensions. You need to be able to be in two places at once. You need to be able to be in three places at once, and you got to keep growing. So don't get stuck in that mindset of, especially if you're like a perfectionist. Again, that's me too. I'm a perfectionist. And I was just having this conversation the other day. Like, I had to learn that for me, the most important thing is to get it done. That's the most important thing. So therefore, my perfectionism that's built into me, I had to put that aside. I understand that when I'm looking at something and it's not exactly the way I want it, that's not as important as getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Because while you're sitting there trying to figure it out and trying to perfect things, I'm already moved on to the next thing. It's done and out,
Mm,
and you're still stuck on that one thing. And I just moved on to the next thing again, and I just moved on to the next thing again. And so like that goes with criticism too. Like when people criticize things that we do or things that's going on in 716 Live, I don't really I don't really listen to criticism almost at all. Even if it's from somebody who maybe I respect their opinion, I still don't really listen to the criticism because I understand that they don't understand the bigger picture. You
yeah.
know, you just and even some people, I've had a lot of conversations where sometimes people even sound like they do understand the bigger picture, but they still don't because the picture is so gigantic, and there's so many moving parts and so many little pieces to the puzzle that you can get lost in that. But me, I don't get lost in it. I understand what the bigger picture is, so therefore I don't get caught up in any criticisms or anything because I understand that whoever's criticizing doesn't understand what they're talking about. So, and that's not to say that there's no room for growth or improvement. There's always room for growth and improvement. But what the point is, I'm focused on progression, not perfection.
That's what's up. He said he is in the area. Dutch, are you familiar with where we are, the 716 Live Studios? Do you hit
Tri-Main,
us up?
Buffalo, New York, Tri-Main Business Center, man. We right here.
Yeah. So
Come on down.
Jason, the Caminero effect said, I'm definitely liking this topic. My interviews, I researched a lot before the interview because I like authenticity.
Right, right.
And a different question for my viewing audience. They want to know you.
Right, right, right. Yeah, definitely. It's a got to keep it authentic, man. That's me personally. That's what I'm all about. I try to keep 716 Live the same as authentic as possible. That's why if you notice, you pay attention to the shows, it's there's no nonsense on here. Like 90% of it's motivational talk, it's positive talk. We get a lot of different um guests on different shows that pretty much any show. I'm trying to think of a show that isn't like some kind of even Layla. She has her affirmations and she's
Right.
motivated, and she brings that in. There's really nothing. There's no show on here that's like yeah, it's all positive. It's all motivational. I mean, a little bit of we might sprinkle a little bit of entertainment in there, but it's real little. You know what I'm saying? It's like literally like a pinch of salt. On a big steak, man. It's nothing. Just a little bit. But yeah, that's authenticity is very important to me personally. So
Yeah.
that's why 716 Live is the way it is.
I'll add that it does help when you can sit down with someone who can see the vision with you. Like I literally had a conversation with Jay when I first came on board with 716 Live about a logo. Now I just knew what I wanted, and he ended up making the logo. Just you want somebody that can see your vision and help you bring that vision alive, because it is so helpful. You want that support. And that's one of the things that I can honestly attest to. And I'm sure anybody on the 716 Live platform can attest to, is that the support is definitely here. I'm not
Right.
just saying that because I'm a part of 716 Live. I'm saying that because it's facts. You have the opportunity to build your dream out. And that's what I think is the most beautiful thing. Like I told you about the pink couch. And when we were having a conversation and talking about moving, you were like, okay, Vet, what about the pink couch? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I need that. So we need that as creatives, somebody that's going to help us realize our dream and like be there to hold our hand if we need it, not hold it and do it for you, but like
I was
I
going
got
to say, like, just hold you accountable to your dream. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we get discouraged and we think things aren't possible, and
yeah.
sometimes it just helps to have someone on your side that's like, nah, man, like you said you was going for that. Let's go for it.
And you do hold me accountable, which I love because I need that for my personality, y'all. I need to be held accountable, and he does. Okay, vet. I need that.
Yeah.
Jason,
Oh no, go ahead.
he said, "How do you deal with religion topics, knowing there are 1,000,001 denominations and all of that?"
Right. I think 716 Live again, like what I like to make sure is that people try to understand that everyone has their own opinions. That's another thing about 716 Live. Like I was just talking about this. It's about unity, you know, like we can all as people have our differences and we can celebrate our differences. We don't have to be at each other's throats because we're different than each other. We can actually, to make it simple, you could like food, you know what I'm saying? Like I love food. So that food is part of culture, you know what I'm saying? So every culture has their own way of how they make whatever it is, whether it's rice or some kind of how chicken is a big one, like
Mhm.
made 100,000 different ways depending on which culture you're involved in. And you know being able to experience different cultures through food, I think that's something that helps unify people. Like if you go to any, well, but again, Buffalo, we got so many, you could you can get Spanish food, you could get Jamaican, you can get an authentic
Polish.
food, like authentic.
Yeah.
And I think that realizing that we have these differences, and I'm using food for a reason here because everyone has to eat. Like you're not thinking about, I'm trying to keep it PG too. You're not thinking about no like weird stuff about you. Like, man, I'm trying to eat. This food is good. Whatever. Like racism or whatever. Like that's not coming into the picture when you eat, and you just eating. Like, man, this food is good. You're not thinking about all that other stuff. And or religion. Let's talk about religion since that's what you were saying. Like you're not thinking about that for the most part, unless it's like swine or something like that. I get it, but so it's just being able to celebrate, like that. Like, man, this food like that. Like, man, this food is so good. Where does it come from? Which culture is this? Same thing. Someone might have a belief about, reincarnation or, whatever, Allah, however you look at things, or some people think we just in a matrix, and and then there's atheists, and and it's being able to understand that people have different perspectives as things, and being able to respect everybody's perspective and their own life experiences as individuals, instead of sitting
Yeah.
there like, man, this is the way I think, so F how you think, and you need to die because you think how you think. And that's just crazy.
Mhm.
Like, everybody got their own opinions and their own how they live life, and instead of being upset about everybody's differences, we need to learn how to learn from our differences. That's how that I always preach that, and you can't make people do things, but if you just be more self-aware and aware of other people, and keep it respectful, everyone can have their own opinions about different things, especially religion. I know religion and politics is, basically what causes most of the destruction in the world.
Other
But if
issue.
people could just sit down and, listen, then we wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, he said it's hard to not offend anyone or lose viewers. Jason, keeping it balanced. I need to practice because I go hard for the Most High. It's
Right.
real. So do I. If you follow me on any of my platforms, I go hard for the Most High as well. I don't have a problem talking about God or the Most High in any type of, even on the morning show, or if it's my podcast. Like I don't stray away from that. What I am mindful of is that everybody's not going to think like me. So I think it is, like Jay said, it's a matter of just having respect for everybody's opinion, and realizing that, just because you have that opinion does not mean somebody else does. Like, I'm not here to force you to believe what I believe or have the same faith that I have. Just know that this is a result of the faith that I have in the Most High. Like, this person that I am is a result of the faith that I have in the Most High. Yes, do I meant yes, ma'am. Yeah. You know what? There is a balance. What I always keep in mind when I'm doing my show
Mhm.
is that I don't want to spread hate. I don't want to, I'm very intentional about that. Like, I don't want to promote hate, and I don't want to like promote division. What I want to do is provide awareness on certain things. So I would say, as long as you're not spewing hate, it's all right to have your own opinion. Like, what you don't want to do is conform to something that you're not, because then it's not authentic and it's no longer your show. You're trying to conform to what you feel that people want and not what you've been called to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have my show like that, conform. And the people that's meant to be with you or watch your show, they're going to find you. Like, your tribe is going to find you, most definitely.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
As far as like offending people or losing viewers, I think that that's something you can't really worry about though, because you can't control that. People are gonna get offended no matter what you say. I mean, someone's gonna be offended at the things I'm saying right in this moment, like right now. The fact that I'm
Mhm.
saying that people are gonna be offended, people are gonna be offended about me saying that. Like, that's how crazy it is. Once you put yourself out there in a public platform, on the public eye, that's it. As people get offended all the time over what you would perceive as nothing. So you can't really worry about that. It's more so about getting whatever message you want to get out, and again, just being respectful of everyone's opinions as much as you can. I mean, everyone has their threshold, but there was a point in time where we had like, I think we had like three or maybe four religious shows on simultaneously on 716 Live, and
Mm.
I would get questions like, is this a religious platform? Or, what about Muslims? They were all Christian too. What about Muslims? Or
Um,
you got a problem with Muslims? And it's like, nah, man, it's just what it is. Like, you know, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just happened that way. A bunch of Christians decided that at the same time it was a good time to be on 716 Live. I don't know. But again, like I said, I'm unbiased. No, I'd have a show if someone was atheist. I'd have a show if someone was Muslim. Because I respect everyone's opinion. As long as, like Vet was saying, as long as you're not spewing hateful, or some kind of like demeaning type of
mhm.
message, then I'm gonna respect anyone's opinion all the way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta agree with you. I don't agree with everyone on 716 Live. You know what I'm saying? And even to bring it back to the beginning, like we was talking about earlier with the music, I didn't like a lot of the music that I was playing on my platform.
But you still played it.
Completely, because the bigger picture. I support Buffalo. I support the music. Again, I try to stay away from things that I find derogatory or that are demeaning or not beneficial to our culture. It's kind of hard because, like, it's a lot of it. But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, so you're gonna offend people.
Yeah. What other? I'm loving these questions, everybody. Who else has some questions, especially while we are on
Yeah.
about talking about podcasting or even radio? Maybe you have some questions about radio shows, because they kind of can go hand in hand depending on the format. Radio is sort of like the Spotify audio
Right, right.
podcasting, So what other questions do you have? Jason said perfect example on what Jay he said. It's all of on the same platform. That's true.
Hmm. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be respectful, man. People need to learn how to listen to other people. Everyone wants to get their point across rather than listening. Like,
Yeah.
uh, we're all we're all living this life the way we experience it. It's not.
Mm.
You can't. I ain't gonna say you can't, but I don't believe that you should be pushing anything on anybody, because you don't know what that person's life is. All you can do is offer what you and Joker call is nuggets to people, and then it may benefit them, it may help them get somewhere, it may not. You know what I'm saying? But as far as,
Mhm.
like, pushing things on people and trying to force people to think like you, and it just doesn't work, man. It doesn't.
Yeah. And you end up having people resent you, and then you want people to have their own thoughts also. Like I feel like if you are watching something that I'm doing, anything Vet Green, that means that that's what you're looking for. Like that's what your spirit is looking for, whether it's motivation or somebody that I'm having a conversation with on the pink couch. Like that's your people are going to find you. Like if you are watching a show and it is triggering you in any way, then you need to stop watching it. Like that's not a show for you. Yet my platform is not for you. And as far as guests, also, I feel like the guests that I like we end up linking up, like Molly and Duca De Niro. You know, the dialogue that was a perfect rendition of my life, and that's one of my favorite interviews. You know, like those are the type of you want to speak to people that aligns with what the goal of your show is. Like I don't want to talk to somebody who does not align with my core goals and core ethics and morals. Like I don't want to talk to anybody who's disrespectful or anything like that, but that's my platform. Somebody else may not have those same issues, and it'll be okay. They'll be fine talking with different people. So I think diversity is also welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that type of is
who doesn't want diverse? Like why would you want the same thing? You know, like diversity is a very good thing. It helps growth. It helps, helps to learn new things and new perspectives. And like you were saying about having Molotov on, and that situation right there is a testament to what happens at 716 Live a lot, which is relationship building.
yes.
I mean, look at perfect example. Look at Cap. You know what I'm saying? He came on the show. Bandana Black came on the show. He a part of 716 Live now. It's
Right.
relationship building. Like 716 again. It all circles back to the basics, man. It's relationship building. It's being truly supportive of what's going on in Buffalo. I mean, that was one of the conversations me and Bandana had. Was like his whole main thing with 716 Live and why he wanted to be a part of it is because we support 716. Like that was his thing. Like, man, y'all really like for the artists and for Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell that it's real and authentic, like Jay was saying. And that spreads out through the different shows as well. Like the Think and Grow, like the Mika show, like all the shows that we have. It's very authentic and it's based around really connecting with people.
Yeah, even Layla and Lola's show, I love how they talk about the different events that's going on. If y'all have not checked out Layla or Lola's show that comes on Friday, and you want to know about what's going on in the 716, make sure you check out their show. Layla comes on at 5. That's Layla's Tea Time. And then Lola comes on her podcast shows every other Friday, right? Is she on this week? I feel like she's on this week.
Yes, she's on tonight.
Okay. Oh, that's going to be dope. I'll be up in the studio tonight. And if you are interested in stopping by to see what 716 Live has to offer, hit us up. Like, hit us up. You want to come and experience 716 Live. There's no one that has came through that studio that has not felt that energy, like that positive energy. It's crazy. Nobody has come through there and got a bad vibe.
That is all fact.
Jason said Dominican and Puerto Rico bilingual. Oh, I am the Jason Caminero effect. Love you. I'm gonna get going. He's been going to work. He's been saying he's on his way to work. I know we have that effect. That is the greatest thing. Also about the 716 Live morning show, we've gotten so much feedback about how positive the show is, and I love that for us because that shows we are walking in our purpose with this show. Right. Because for some people, we may be the first thing you hear in the morning. Right. So we want to provide you with that positive feeling early in the morning. Mm-hmm. We want to provide y'all with that. So Yeah, normally we are shutting down around this time and playing some music because I have to fund.
Already 30. That's wild.
I know we've been. It's one of those days, and I keep seeing the count go up, and I hate to just cut it. I love y'all. Keep checking us out. If y'all have any questions for us, go ahead and put it in the chat. Even if it's during the replay, put it in the chat. I'll still see them. One of us will see it, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions. If you are interested in coming down to the Tri-Main Center, making an appointment to see what 716 Live has to offer, hit us up. Like, send us an email. There's so much that you can do. If you have been hesitating to jump out on faith and start that podcast, or you're hesitating to raise your hand and say, I'm interested in having a radio show, man, today is the day.
Yep.
Today's the day. What tell them what we can offer them, Jay, because there's so many packages available, and like they have so many opportunities to like build out their dream.
To build out your vision, whatever it is, for instance, Cap, came through and he wants a music video, so we gonna sit down and chop it up and get his vision to come to life with that, talk shows, podcasts, we call them podcasts just to make things simple, but the reality is, any type of visual broadcast or, message that you're trying to get out to the people, we can make it happen. We could do mobile podcasts. We could do on location podcasts. We could do talk shows. We could do the radio. It all depends on where your imagination is going, and whatever it is, we can make it happen. And on a professional level, we don't create things over here that people are not proud of. Sometimes people go to different platforms, and I get it. Some of these platforms, their cost is a little lower, or they may even be free, but you can see why. There's a difference. The product here is just it's another level. It's an elite level. Like, we're all professional. We handle things professionally. That's one of the things that I hear a lot in Buffalo about different multimedia platforms, is the professionalism isn't there, especially when it's expected. But any business, professionalism should be present. And that's one of the things that I personally get complimented on a lot, which is surprising to me, because I don't purposely just be like, man, I'm trying to be professional. I think it's just a matter of being courteous and understanding and listening to people. But people call it professional and they love it. And hey, that's what's going on at 716 Live. So whatever your imagination has in store, man, let us bring that to life.
I'm sure we can make it happen for you. So many people say, oh, I wanted to start a podcast, or oh, somebody said I should start a podcast, or you enjoy talking with people. Man, stop sleeping on yourself. Stop sleeping on yourself. Right. I cannot say that enough. I've dragged on myself for a long time. And in order to be accountable, I got with a network. Made me accountable. You want to be accountable for yourself. You want to be accountable, yeah. So what nuggets do you want to leave the listeners of the 716 Live Morning Show with today, Jay Heat? And thank you for joining me again this morning.
Nugget, I would say I made a Facebook stat, so I'll just say that. I would say make a couple core goals, core life goals for yourself, and let everything else fall in place as you set out to achieve those core goals.
Oh, I'm receiving that. I receive it.
And don't let nothing get in the way, including yourself.
Oof. I definitely received that, because can't we be our own worst enemy? Definitely. We can be. And you know what? I'm going to piggyback off of that. You win today. Because the fight against you is you versus you. Make sure that it is the one who has those goals and it is willing to put those goals into action wins today. Don't let that one win that wants to sit on the couch and eat a whole bunch of potato chips and just do nothing. Don't let that person win today. The one that you want to win today is the one who is going to make your life go to the very next level, and another level, and another level, and another level. So I love y'all. Long life.
All right, y'all. I'm going.
Have a wonderful evening on purpose.